I'm John DeSando.
Classics, let's go to the movies and share some popcorn, soda pop with our friends. Turn off our cell phones and get away. Night or day, it's John DeSando on the radio. We'll watch the credits from up high and low. Cinema Classics.
Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando. It airs Thursdays at 8:01 p.m. on WCBE 90.5 FM. Listen to shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Gary Hammond.
And this is Cinema Classics. Well, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Oh, a little short while ago, I saw a movie called Dumb Money. And this made me feel really good because it was about little guys beating the big guys. And things turning out well. Now I've asked you to look at a film with me called Fair Play. It doesn't give me the same feeling that Dumb Money did.
No, it's not a happy-go-lucky. It's instead a hedge fund where the competition is fierce, absolutely ruthless, and unfortunately, human beings with real feelings, real emotions are caught up in it.
I just wonder if hedge funding is like this. I suspect it is.
I suspect it is. They won't really tell us the truth, John. They just tell us how much money they made and how happy they are.
Wow, yeah. So this is a corporation where it's mostly young people, I think, because I look over everybody in that room as they're looking at their computers. These are 30s and 40s
Yes.
guys.
And then at the top, there's people in their 50s and 60s, but very few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their boss, played by Eddie Marsan,
Oh my
is one of my
gosh.
favorite actors, pulling off another beautiful little role.
Scary.
Holy, talking about caring about nothing but the profits for the organization. I mean, you've heard it before. You can see Eddie playing this role, and he does it with such menace, just underplaying. The menace there. I'm just really speechless as how good it was and how violent the whole place is.
Well, there's only one thing that matters. What have you done for me today?
Yeah.
And if you failed in some way recently, then you're on thin ice.
And I think when our chief female, our protagonist, who is Emily, played by Phoebe Denover, who has also been on TV, other shows that I've never seen, but she is excellent. And she says to her fiancé, who works with her at the hedge fund, I was just thinking now, anyway, I'll think of it later. But, so we have a dynamic here. We have two people working together. Isn't that like the worst nightmare? They are both analysts in a hedge fund.
And it gets worse.
If you ever thought it would be great to work with your fiancé, your husband, in a corporation, this will stop you dead in your tracks.
So, in terms of the review, I don't want to give too much away, but she's thinking that he's going to get a promotion.
Well, they overhear it. Unfortunately, in a place like that, listening to rumors is a bad thing.
Right.
And she does overhear somebody say that they thought Luke, her husband, played by Alden Ehrenreich, that he's going to be the one in line for the PM. Did you ever figure out what PM is?
Project manager?
Yeah.
That would be my guess.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was her fiance at this point, and she's prepared to adopt the subservient and allegedly female role, and I think that's how they presented it.
Yes.
Of supporting him, and then there's a plot twist.
Well, of course, and I think we need to reveal that she gets the promotion rather than he.
Right, and he is dumbstruck.
Right, and this is what I like so much about this. This is truly post-Me Too. This is the way things can shake out. And if you don't think it's horrendous, then think about you're being very bright, very aggressive, very ambitious, and then your partner gets promoted over you. I don't care which one it was, the male or the female in this role, it's got to be something you have to deal with.
Right.
Even if you were ambitious enough to think you'd become the project manager, and all of a sudden they are breaking law as it is, right? They're lovers.
Right, they're violating a very important rule of the company, except that it doesn't matter as much as the first rule, which is make me money.
I know.
And she is really better than he is.
Oh, yes, yes.
I mean, the boss is right. She really is better than he is, and that's the toughest crow for him to swallow.
Yeah. They, just to kind of fill in on that background, the two of them become lovers pretty quickly, and they're both working in the same floor of the same company. And because they have to hide, they even have to hide their engagement.
Well, beyond that, they walk out of the apartment and separate
Yes,
every morning,
I love
and
that
they
shot.
walk out of the office. And they both get in the subway. I hope I'm not giving away too much, and
No,
so
it's-
edit it out. They both ride the subway home. They meet on the same subway car, but they separate, and then they meet up at the station where it's safe. And then after she's promoted, she goes out and gets in a Lincoln Town car that is at the curb for her to drive her home, and he takes the subway home alone.
That's nice. Very nice touch. And you're reminding me of a shot I really like, which is kind of a bird's eye view shot of them coming out of the apartment and separating.
Yeah.
Well, except one of the unbelievable things for me, and this is where I think they stretch it a bit, is that nobody but perhaps that one guy knows that they're lovers. I can't believe that working together, everybody in that environment, they wouldn't know. But it's important for the plot that they don't know.
I found that credible, actually.
Wow.
And when Mr. Big, when he figures it out and so on, he is just very clear with her that it doesn't matter because she's making money.
You know, that's another one of the great moments here, is that while you think it's going to be catastrophic, when you think once the boss finds out that they're even engaged, he is going to be, they'll be... Yeah,
That they even are friends.
That's Eddie Marsan's role.
Yeah.
Again, as Campbell. That's the one that I'm sitting there saying, "You go, boy! What an actor!"
Yeah.
In which he says, and it is part of the whole thrust of this story, is that, as you had pointed out, nobody cares but that you make money. So he doesn't apparently even care, although I think he knew. I think you're right. I think he's known for quite,
I don't think he's known, but
Okay.
I don't have to disagree with you. It doesn't
No,
matter.
right, yeah.
Because the thing is, whether he knew or not, he doesn't care because she's making money, and he doesn't care about if the other guy. He doesn't care what happens to the other guy.
These two working together, actor and actress, I think are a reason to see this. If you could put up with the histrionics of this, to see these two actors, young actors, go at each other.
They were fantastic.
Yes.
And there's a lot of sex, and there's
Yeah,
they're pretty rough with each other.
yeah. Except for that bloody business that you described, the sex is cutaway kind of sex that you could put up with it if you're a prude. I think you can, to enjoy the dynamics of it. You won't be appalled by the sex. They do have plenty of it. I can't figure that out.
No, I didn't mean pornography. I just meant
Yeah.
they're very active.
Yeah.
It's reasonably discreet. There's nothing
Yeah,
disclosed.
except the one you described, which I think is a
Yeah.
pretty cool scene.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty shocking.
Yeah.
And symbolic, of course, because it ends also with blood. The
Right.
show ends
Well,
with-
it begins and ends, and it
Yeah.
shows that he's in the subservient role from the
Yes,
beginning.
yes. So now, but tell me, are there any outside influences here, or is it all in this kind of combustible area? Anyone you can think of? I found both annoying and pleasantly true, and that would be her talking with her mother.
Yeah.
And I found that pleasantly true. Mom is just appalled that they can't enjoy the engagement, her
Because
promotion.
it's a secret.
I know, and Mom is there like what I guess you would call a Jewish mother. I mean, on the
Or
phone.
any kind of mother. Any kind of mother.
Right.
Yeah.
That kind of annoying mother who won't stay out of your life, but who's yet saying something that we all kind of feel is, what are you giving up for this ambition of yours that you can't even announce? your own engagement?
Yeah, the mother was very human. She was annoying, but sometimes human beings are annoying.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I love it. Like fate, the mom is inevitable. She's already arranged a party in Manhattan for them. She's got the place reserved. She's got everything going. And our poor Emily, I say poor Emily only because of what she's dealing with. And then she's got a mother who's going to blow everything by having a party for her. Even what was her, I don't know what physician she's telling it to. The mom is told it to. And Emily is saying, please don't tell anybody. Don't tell your doctor. Somebody's going to find out. So that's the outside influence.
The thing that struck me about Emily is that during the movie, she is believable as a fragile woman in a man's world, and during the movie she is believable as a completely ruthless, she's every bit as ruthless as the boss is, who you have described so eloquently. She's a younger version and she's a female version, but he doesn't have anything over on her in terms of her ruthlessness.
And I love the shots, the tracking shots, when she comes into work. There are several of them, 2 or 3 or more, with the camera in front of her, following her. And it reminds me, if you ever saw Working Girl,
Yeah.
where Sigourney Weaver comes in,
Yeah.
and they do the same shot,
Yeah.
and so imperious.
Yeah.
You know, and you're right. But she's first kind of mousy when she comes in. Then when she gets the job, she's just like looking around and see me. And you know, I think that she has been tough from the get-go, except that her circumstances don't allow her to be until she gets that job. That, as you are implying here, she is a female in a male world. I mean, they want her to be a part of the boys' club. How revolting. You know, they're getting her to go down and drink and get drunk and act foolish.
Well, beyond that, she challenges them. They're talking about where they're going to go have drinks, and they say, but we can't go to Henry's or whatever it is. And she said, oh, we're going to Henry's.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then she pays a price the next day, but I don't think she cares.
Yeah. Good. All right, Gary Hammond, we have Fair Play here, which is available on Netflix if you have the nerve to see it. And what do you recommend to our audience?
I started watching it, and then I did not recommend it to my wife. And then later I talked with her about the movie, and she said, was it a feminist movie? And I said, that's not for me to say. It could be that that's the point of the movie. She is certainly powerful. She certainly does prevail as far as that goes. I think she's ruthless. Is that feminism?
Let's further discuss this on our podcast, Double Take.
Okay.
And you have to go to the WCBE, the podcast experience. It's an exciting experience for me, but as you pointed out, not for everybody, and not for Terry. I'm John DeSando.
Classics, let's go to the movies and share some popcorn.